Companies seeking skilled trade workers who are leaders in their industry can count on Lead Corpus Christi for their workforce solutions. Lead staffing is just a phone call away and will get you started on your journey to filling open skilled positions with ease and the right candidates. For the most successful and reliable workforce partnership in our area that boasts over 90% retention for our clients, call Lead today. 361-208-7708 and lead the way to a skilled and efficient workforce with Lead staffing. Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Mikayla, and welcome to episode 2 of Girl Talk Sports Talk.
Good Monday morning to you people. We just came off the weekend. This is Melina, and we're going to dive right in.
So, first things foremost, because you were so excited about Snoop Dogg, Melina, what did you think of the opening ceremony?
He crypt walked. I called it that morning, and I didn't even have to IG him. I didn't have to IG him. He did it on his own. So I think there was a lot of controversy about the fact that Snoop Dogg was the one doing it,
Mm-hmm.
but he said it in an interview. How did you feel? And they told him, hey, he said, I felt like Muhammad Ali, and that when you hold the torch, that means you're a peacemaker. Which, regardless of who Snoop is now, who he was, whatever, I think that was telling of our American culture today to see someone who was just kind of out there for the general public, right? For most parents, they were like,
Yeah.
really? But I thought it was really cool. I think he brought America. I mean, he really did. I'm not saying he's a complete representation of America because I don't want anyone to backlash me on that, but it's one of those things that he was everything I thought. He really was. And it made me smile to see how happy he was.
Yeah. And I will say, I thought about him recently because I keep showing him all over, is he's like cheering on like Team USA. I just keep seeing videos of him with significant others and parents when they're cheering on, the athletes. I'm like, that's so cute.
Well, he's just real. He's just a cool guy. Like
Yeah.
whether like I said, it's just one of those things that for me, I loved. Okay, so one of the things Kevin always says is, I gotta go shake hands and kiss babies. And Snoop said that in his interview. I was walking through the streets and shaking hands, kissing babies, and I was like, oh, he's after my heart. And I'm not even attracted to him. I just think he oozes coolness. He just
Yeah.
oozes. But him crip walking, he fulfilled my dreams for him at the USA Olympics carrying.
Oh, I'm happy for you. Um, and I caught snippets of it. So the opening ceremony was really cool. But also because obviously we're gonna talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, girl stuff, sports stuff, whatever you want to talk about. Apparently the Olympics took down the opening ceremony video from YouTube. Did you know that?
Girl, it was a hot mess yesterday in the USA. Like, well, I'm going to say the USA. That's what I saw, but Christianity itself. And it became a firestorm. So,
Yeah.
for me personally, as a female, as a believer, as all of the things, I didn't read too much into it. And it's not because I was being naive. It was a performance. It was entertainment. When
Exactly.
you and I are at the games, we're providing entertainment
Mm-hmm.
to the fans, to the players, to everybody. So for me, I wasn't offended by it. I understood,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make it very clear how people did
Yeah.
interpret
Good.
it.
Mm-hmm.
I also understood some of the symbolism behind it. So for me, I think where my struggle came in and will always come in is why out of all of the ceremony, all
Was
of
that taken
why
out
was
of
that the target?
context?
Right.
Yeah.
Why did we have to ruin a beautiful thing? And I'm
Yeah.
being ruined on both sides. Okay, if it was intentional or unintentional, okay, whatever. I didn't, like I said, read a lot into it. But on the
Mm-hmm.
flip side of that is out of everything, the players coming in, all of the countries coming in on the boats,
Yeah.
all of the
Why is
different
that the
things.
most talked about?
Why did we immediately go focus on the negative, or people focused on the negative or what it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't instead of
Yeah.
what it was in a time in which let's be real. It's chaos.
Mhm.
It's chaos. So for me, it
Mhm.
was, I unfortunately, I thought it was cool. I didn't quote see the offense in it, but I try not to get quote offended as much. And boy, it started a crap storm
Yeah.
on my social media that I was just like, whoa, guys, like I
Yeah.
don't read into things that much. And I get it. We all have our beliefs and all of that. I just think Paris, I thought it was an amazing ceremony
Mhm.
despite some of the negativity. Just
Yeah.
like us with this season, we thought it was an amazing season, but we had our glitches. It wasn't perfect. And we had
Yes.
people that focused on the positive, and then we had people that focused only on the negative. And it's like, dude,
Mhm.
there's got to be that balance.
That middle ground, yeah.
Um, yeah.
But yeah.
So,
So that
but
was
some
an
of the
interesting
crazy
take.
things, 594 athletes from the US. We are like
Yes.
the okay, so that also tells me that we have badasses that live in the US, but
Mhm.
it also tells me that 594 people and their families and their friends were watching. And rather than give the glory to the athletes, we focused on the
Mhm.
negativity of that. You know what I mean? We're behind. I mean, we're ahead of France. We're ahead of Australia. They had 572 in France, and Australia has 460 people. So,
Mhm.
I mean, there's representation here for the
But
U.S.
also on
there.
that side as well is the countries that didn't have a lot of athletes competing. Like I think the refugee team, which I think is so cool, has athletes competing. So why aren't we talking about that?
Hmm.
Why are we
Hmm.
talking about how someone um
Interpreted or misinterpreted, but
misinterpreted, yeah, the
you
part
know,
of the opening ceremony.
right?
But
Yeah.
um so yeah. So
You're an
on that
alumni of
I
TAMU.
am. I am Tamara CC. I am an alumni. And I was gonna say, speaking of those 594 athletes, um, my alumni, Tamara CC has two athletes competing in the Olympics, which I think is so stinking cool.
But why haven't we
And
heard about that here in Corpus? I didn't know anything about that.
I honestly, I can't even take credit for that. My very good friend slash old roommate, she works for the university, and she was like, "Hey, did you know about this?" And I said, "No, but can you send me the information?" And she did. So it was posted on like their island underscore university. So the first one is Ryan Phillips, who's class of 25, and she is representing the USA at trap shooting.
So that's
So
guns,
the
what we
the
talked
clay
about in the
shooting,
first.
yeah, the clay shooting.
Oh,
So that's one of them, and then
if that doesn't say Texas on it, I don't know what does.
and then the other one is representing Paraguay, and I am probably gonna mess up her name. It's Juliana Politi Corrales. She was it says class of 23. But she is representing Paraguay in beach volleyball. So
Wow.
not only
Wow.
does TAMU CC have two athletes, Texas teams, Texas universities, I don't want to say Texas teams, Texas universities have a total. Actually, I don't know if I have a total, but it it's a lot, so I'm just going to give out numbers. So A&M Kingsville has 23 Olympians and one coach. Tarleton State University has one Olympian. West Texas A&M University has three Olympians and one coach. TAMU CC has two Olympians, and A&M Commerce has three. So that's 20, no, it's 30 something.
Hmm.
23, 26, 29, 31 athletes and two coaches
Is
across
that
the Texas A&M system.
wow? And my daughter attends Tarleton State. For she's going to Tarleton for her doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So that's crazy that Texas.
Yeah.
That makes me really proud to be a Texan. I think we're obviously all. I know how proud you are to be a Texan because anytime you can wear boots, you're willing to put them on.
Boots and a
But
cowboy hat.
and the cowboy hat. But I
Mm-hmm.
think it's cool that we truly have locals that
Yeah.
are competing, and I wish there was more. Well, maybe they'll get some publicity from us, but I wish there was more light brought to that because that's a lot of work. I actually, crazy story, went to high school. with a girl that I went to elementary, middle, and high school. Her name was Jennifer McFalls. She competed in the Olympics, I want to say in the late 90s, maybe early 2000s.
Oh,
Um,
smokes.
but because we went to school together all the way from elementary to high school, Jennifer
Yeah.
McFalls played for the softball team, did all of the things. It was just really cool, but it was an honor. And so they named a park after her back home in my hometown,
Oh, that's so cool.
McFalls Park, but it was the girl that I used to go to recess with. And, so it's really a big honor. And especially if you know people like on a personal level like that. Now, I can't call her today and say, I mean, I could, but we haven't talked in years other than reunions or in passing. But it's just, I think it's a very big honor for these, especially females, especially.
Yeah.
I mean, males,
Um,
yes.
yeah. And a lot of them, the majority of them are track and field and swimming. The one of the coaches is the women's basketball assistant coach.
Ooh.
There's two in archery, two in tennis, one in cycling, two in diving, and then a crap ton in track and field and swimming. And it's not all Team USA.
Yeah,
So,
because they're representing other countries, right?
mhm, yeah. Oh, this is
Yeah.
just A&M Kingsville. So this is just the not Kingsville,
Wow.
College Station. Um,
Interesting.
yeah, so that's just from College Station. Tarleton is skeet shooting, A&M Converse is track and field, West Texas University A&M is track and field, and then obviously TAMO CCs. But yeah, a lot of them are track and field.
Girl, me and you were in the wrong track and field. Oof, we already talked about that.
Hmm.
And let's give a shout out to the first gold for Team USA
Yes.
was
Yes.
women's diving. Which is I saw their performance.
Hmm.
Those bodies, those legs. I'm not,
Well, the
I'm just
diving portion always just terrifies me because that's just you're hitting the water so hard. I feel like doing belly flops. Like I can't even imagine just like straight up like
like if
pointing
you
my
do a
toe.
cannonball, it hurts.
Yeah,
So can you imagine going up all those? But number one, I would be tired. Let's just be
climbing
real.
the stairs.
By the time I climb the ladder, so I'm gonna already have
Hmm.
trouble breathing.
Hmm.
And we're just keeping it real, girl talk. Then I had to get up there and steady myself, and then not look down or freak myself out that I'm gonna. Because some of those girls, they do 3 and 4 flips, and I'm just like, and
Yeah.
not belly flop because I would be that girl that did like a flip and then just boom, and it'd be like she called 911. I mean, she's
'Cause, yeah,
quick as
she's not coming back up. Yeah, no. I probably would make it about maybe 1/8 up the ladder. I'd be like, you know what? It's not for me.
yep, yeah. Those are not well. No, okay, but look at the bathing suits.
Yeah. Oh my God, that would
You have to be like,
I don't know how people don't get wedgies. Because obviously you can't pick a wedgie like on camera in
I
front of
know, and the
like the
cameras
entire
are
world.
everywhere. Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy?
Yeah. That's like the like I don't get it. Like that's the worst. Or like and obviously not swimming, but like if you're in a sports bar, you gotta fix yourself sometimes.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
beach volleyball.
Wedge, yeah, yeah, yeah. I will throw a shout out, and I know it wasn't on here, but the shout out is to Chicago for the track and field. Oh my gosh, her name just left my mind. But she had been disqualified before due to drug
Oh,
possession.
the one with the cowboy hat?
Yes, and she had the nails, and I mean, like, got disqualified due to illegal drugs, which was marijuana. But she had said,
Mm-hmm.
I lost my mom, I made a bad decision, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Her team yesterday turned it up. And you talk about sweet revenge, sweet, bittersweet happiness. You could just see it on her. And it was so exciting because it's like they were beating her down, like
Yeah.
beating her down in the public eye. I mean, you're already dealing with everything that you deal with. And so that track and field, I told you I like doing it, even though I can't do anything with it, but I love watching
Mm-hmm.
it and the stories and things like that. So that was really cool.
And then before we move on to our next portion, I do just want to give a shout out to the USA women's soccer team who defeated Germany 4-1 today. I was a happy girl. It actually just finished when I found out, and I do just want to give a special shout out to Mallory Swanson, who was the first player in US women's national team history to score three or more goals in first two games at a single Olympics. So good job, Mallory.
Girl power, USA. Yes, I love it. The Memory Quilt Company, turning your clothing into cherished keepsakes. At the Memory Quilt Company, they transform your clothing into stunning quilts, pillows, ornaments, and more. From the initial consultation to the final stitch, they are committed to creating pieces that reflect your unique story and their dedication to excellence. Whether you're honoring a loved one or celebrating a special milestone, the quilts are designed to be treasured heirlooms for generations. Discover the perfect way to keep your memories close. Find them on Facebook at the Memory Quilt Company.
So switching gears from national sports, uh, kind of, we're gonna go into local sports. And they're not women, obviously, but the Corpus Christi Hooks are going on a how long game streak?
13. Our friend over Amy over there that does the calling for him and everything
Hmm.
is about to be another strong female in the sports community world is about to be on a crazy hiatus of the schedule. And although it's not a girls' team, girls like to look at those hooks and those
Hmm.
uniforms. I mean,
I
so
mean, I'll say there's two reasons why I go to a baseball game.
you're silly. So yeah, if you're listening to this, and you want to get your family out, there is going to be hooks games for the next 13, 14 days. Just check your schedules.
That is crazy. 2 weeks of playing for these guys. two
Yeah.
weeks of playing for like not just the players and the coaches and everyone, but the staff of Whataburger Field.
Can you
Oof.
imagine if I told you, hey, Mikayla, we're going to have 3 games in a row, 3 days in a row?
I would.
Three. I'm not saying 13. I'm saying three.
I was so stressed with the games that we had this past weekend. That was on a Sunday and a Friday. If you told me 3 games in a row, I'd be like, you know what? Do you need to clone me because I am gonna go down.
A Friday, Saturday, Sunday game. If you had a Friday, Saturday, Sunday game, can you imagine? We
No.
might as well just get a hotel down there and just sleep at the
Yeah.
hotel and
No,
just,
I'd be sleeping at the American Bank Center. What are you talking about?
yeah, yeah, be sleeping in the suite in the back for it. Yeah, that would be me
Yeah.
too.
So,
Um,
good luck to the Corpus Christi Hooks. We are cheering
yes,
y'all on.
we are cheering you on because when y'all win, the city wins. When the city wins, the
Hmm.
county wins. When the county wins, Corpus wins.
Yes. And then sticking with the baseball softball theme, I was not aware of this, and you told me, and I honestly did not believe you because I had not heard anything about it.
Now, don't you know I am like an AI junior? I am not going to come at you unless I have facts in the.
No.
So yeah, we have a women's softball team. Most people don't know that, and
Yeah.
it's crazy, but they're called the Coastal Bend Tidal Wave.
Ooh, I like
Um,
that.
isn't that cool? They play at the Fairgrounds Field in Robstown. And what's crazy, I did, yeah, out
Oh,
there, yeah, it's really cool.
that
And
makes sense.
they the last time that they had a uh, team like that was in the late
Hmm.
60s and early 70s. It had a women's major slow pitch team. The games they play every week are 4 games at home. And so the championship series, though, is really cool. It's going to be here in Robstown starting August 13th.
That's
So this
exciting.
so this week, I don't know what your schedule is like, and we'll talk about it offline, but they are playing here in Robstown, and tickets are like averaging $10 to $20 or whatever.
Oh, fairly
Um,
decent prices.
yeah, very decent prices, but it's four games. So I think it's really cool. I think that women's softball is big even in the Olympics, but just to know that we have one here in the Coastal Bend after all these years is good. It's good for women. It's good for these girls that are in these local high schools and on these local select
Mm-hmm.
teams to give them that opportunity to keep the sport going, and
Yeah.
especially, in the area.
Yeah. No, I agree. Exciting. I hope they go further and just keep going.
Hmm. Yeah.
'Cause it'll be
It,
interesting. Because then we'd have baseball, softball, football, hockey in Corpus, professional teams.
yeah. Let's talk about your hockey. Let's talk about your
Mm,
hockey next.
my favorite sport, besides soccer. So obviously it's summer. So NHL and PWHL are not in season right now.
What does
Um,
PWHL stand for?
oh girl, you want to talk about women in sports? PWHL is the Professional Women's Hockey League. So did you not know this?
No, ma'am. Mm-mm.
Melina. Okay, so January 1st, 2024, PWHL teams, I can't remember the two teams, which is really bad, played the very first game. So they're officially a national hockey team. It's a women's national hockey team.
I
Like,
have no idea.
yeah. So that's exciting. It's the first year.
Girl,
Um,
I would hurt myself in hockey
oh my God, these
on ice
women.
skates.
So it's right now, it's just, the NHL. I don't know if you know anything about the NHL. The NHL has 32 teams.
I know
So
about
there,
the Dallas Stars. That's what I know about the NHL.
you're welcome. So the NHL has 32 teams. The PWHL has had six teams to start with. It was Minnesota, New York, Boston, Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa. Ottawa was the other one.
Okay.
Um,
The point
anyway,
is,
the
we
point
have a
is
women's
Women's
hockey.
National Hockey League.
That is crazy. I love it though. I do. I love it. It's there is everybody. I mean, sports is sports, and I mean, people like different things. So having that opportunity, look at the WNBA, and I know we're getting off topic a little bit, but women's national basketball, the team that they sent over to the Olympics
Yeah.
prior to a couple of seasons ago, yes, college basketball was a big deal, but not in women's as much as, I mean, it was, but it wasn't. Not until now, where it's Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and all of these things that
Hmm.
girls can love, like you and I say, girls can love the same sport too if they can learn how
Yeah.
to. If it would not hurt me so bad, I would love to play football. But I know that it's going to hurt my body. Like I know that.
Yeah.
Those guys take a licking, and that's not me. That's going to hurt.
Yeah.
So
So anyway, so the hockey doesn't start until obviously preseason starts September, and then the official start of the NHL season. It's super exciting. Um, they are doing a opening game October 4th. There's a name for it, but I can't remember what it's called right now. Um, basically in Europe, in Prague, against the Buffalo Sabres and the New Jersey Devils, which is one of my favorite teams as well.
the New
So that
Jersey Devils is
yeah. So
okay.
they are starting off their season in Prague. And then the actual official North America season starts October 8th. And right now there's no start date for the PWHL. But I'm anxiously waiting to see when they start as well.
I know, and I need to go follow them. We as women, whether we get their sport or they don't, whether we understand it or we don't, um, we need to be supporting them. We need
Yeah.
to, and in reality, and I'll let you share your story. I loved football prior to ever signing with the Tritons, ever coming on
Hmm.
with them or anything. I was college and I was um, NFL. I had no
Mm-hmm.
idea about indoor arena football. I didn't know the
Yeah.
rules. I didn't know those things, but I knew football. I knew downs, I know touchdowns, I know offsides, I know offense, defense, I know the positions, I knew all of that. All I needed to do was learn the rule, quote, the rules of indoor arena.
Mm-hmm.
How was your indoor arena experience prior to the Tritons?
Um, well, you see, and I'm really glad I didn't tell Melina this previously because I probably would not have been hired. But
You're
previous
absolutely right.
before coming on to the Tritons, I actually didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about football in general at all. I don't get the downs. I don't get the little chain gang thing. I don't get it. I just it makes no sense to me. But on the back end, I can see you saying the same thing about hockey or soccer.
Oh yeah. No, soccer
But
I'm good with because my daughter played, but
mhm.
hockey, yeah,
But
I have
yeah,
no idea.
so previous to the coming on to the Tritons, I knew nothing about football. The only thing I could name teams and states. If you give me a state, I could probably name the football team. But my mom
Georgia,
is Georgia Bulldogs, right?
that's
No,
college.
college. Maybe not the NFL. Right.
There's,
No, Braves is a baseball. Why can't you give me a state that I would know?
I was thinking about indoor arena. I was going to say the Columbus Lions.
Oh, I said
Yes. But now you have to learn now that the Tritons, and we'll talk
yeah.
about that in the future, not now, but the Tritons have gone to the NAL. So now we got to learn the new states, and that'll be for another date and time. So let's roll into speaking of football. Oh my
Speaking of
God.
football, it's your favorite holiday. It's my mom's favorite holiday. I'm
Does
pretty
she
sure it's
love
everyone I
football? Your mom loves
she's,
football?
she's obsessed with football. I don't think I'm a disappointment to her.
Don't ever say that. That is funny though. But my daughter's the same way. I mean, she watches football, but she doesn't really care about it. Like she's not like
Yeah.
I am. Like,
No, I
but
leave the room.
no, so my favorite form of football is college football.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That is those guys do it for the heart and the soul. Now, granted, the whole getting paid by sponsors and all of that has changed it up a little bit and all of that, but the guts and the glory go to the college used to be go to the college players because they wanted the ring. They weren't getting paid. There was no money on the table. There was nothing. So I've always been I grew up watching college football. My grandparents had me when I'd go to Oklahoma. They would say we root for the Sooners on Saturday and the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday, and they lived
I
in
love that.
Oklahoma. And so Oklahoma, a lot of people rooted for the Kansas City Chiefs. Well,
Mm-hmm.
my father would root for the Dallas Cowboys. So that's why my grandfather in Oklahoma said, okay, well, you root for the Sooners on Saturday, Sunday, you root for the Cowboys. Perfect compromise, right?
That's cute.
So that's who I am. That's what I'm about. I have a Cowboys tattoo. I have a
Just Cowboys
Sooners tattoo.
everything. Everything.
So, so college
Yeah.
football, the one thing that comes to mind is college game day, girl. College game day.
I
Please tell
will
me you watch
say,
college game day. Please. You're gonna hurt my heart if you don't.
yeah, I totally watch it.
Okay. Well, for those other ladies that don't
Um,
watch it that may be listening out in the world, college game day is equivalent to Saturday morning cartoons. So it starts on August 24th. It first aired in 1987, and it's basically all things college sports. Like it talks all the stats, it rates the teams, it goes by the AP poll, it goes by the call, all of the things. It's nothing but 3 to 4 hours of football talk. It is amazing.
3 to 4 hours. How
Yes,
can
ma'am.
someone
It
talk
starts
that
at
much?
8 o'clock in the morning and it ends at 11. So yes, it's
Oh my
amazing.
God.
It's amazing. They
But then
start their
they have the first game that afternoon or that evening, right?
yes,
Okay. And that's
yes,
what it leads up to like the first game of the
yeah, yeah.
season.
It kicks off, yeah, and so they've been in existence since 1987. I
Hmm.
was in high school, So that show,
I wasn't even born.
I know you don't have to remind me. For those that didn't listen to the first one, there's a big age difference here. So, but they didn't start going on the road until 93. They broadcast from 90 different college campuses.
Holy smokes.
They have guest speakers. Um, they have celebrated their significant milestones are 200 shows back in 2009, 400 shows back in 2004, and 500 shows in, I'm sorry, 200 was in 2004, 400 was in 2013, and 500 was in 2019. So
Holy
it's been
smokes.
another 6 years, 7 years. What are we from 2019 to now? 6 years, 5 years, something. So there's no
Five
telling
years.
how many more how many more shows they're at. But Lee Corso is the guy that's been with it since day one. Do you know who Lee Corso is? That is your homework this season. Okay. Um, so he has been with
Blink,
the
blink.
show since the inception, and he does what he's basically the oldest there, and he is amazing at what he does because he is able to talk. Now he through all the different stats, he's been there for the big games, the little games, all of the things. He does what's called a game picker, and so when they go to these college campuses, it's regarding a specific game that's going to be
Hmm.
played that day, and then he picks out of the two, he'll put the mascot at the close of the show of who he says is going to win. So people on these big games are always waiting to see
See who he
who
decides to
Lee
pick.
Corso, yes. Um, of course, my favorite is Des Howard, but Des Howard also played football. He was in college. He played for Michigan. He was a Heisman Trophy, and he's been on the show forever too. So, girl, let me tell you something. There was a time in my life when I was single, and the one thing that brings a guy around is if you know your stats. Now, like
Got
you,
it. So if
it's
I want a boyfriend, I need to know my football stats.
no,
Got it.
know your hockey stats when you go watch a hockey game, right? So
Oh,
you know how to talk hockey, right? And
I can
so
talk
if you
hockey
talk,
all day.
right. So for me, it was always football. So I knew as long as I learned everything that I could,
Hmm.
I was going to get a drink bought or I was going to get a meal paid for or whatever back in the day. So, I mean, the thing is football brings people love sports. I'm not going to say
I
football.
will say, yeah. No,
They love sports,
football's
competition.
especially in Texas.
Oh, do you know
I
there's
will say,
1,800 high schools in Texas that play football?
I didn't, but I believe it.
1,800.
Um,
1,800.
yeah, that's crazy. Mm.
So, yeah, oh, and so my team is the Sooners. They have been a part of the Big 12 for the past umpteen years. They hold many records, as does the Texas Longhorns. And
You better take that
oh no,
back.
man.
I'm not,
No.
I might not be a football fan, but I am a Longhorn family.
I'm sorry. I won't hold it against you. Uh,
Mm, mm.
so they went from the Big 12. These two teams now are rolled over into the SEC, Southeast Conference, right? And
So
so
that's like a big thing.
that is a huge thing. They went from 14 teams to 16 teams. Um, Sooners, I don't know. I love my Sooners, but they're going to struggle this season. I know that they are. I'm mentally prepared myself.
So I would hate to end it here because I feel like we can talk all things football, hockey, women in sports. But this is the end of episode 2.
And so, you know what, guys? If you like hearing us and you like talking about us, there are sponsorship opportunities to get your
Yes.
business named here locally and on Spotify, all things. So, yes, it has come to an end. We want to thank our sponsors.
Hmm.
As always, they're what help us get this done. But
Yes.
until next time, this is Melina.
And this is Mikayla, and I do just want to let everyone know we will be posting twice a week, Mondays and Fridays, first thing in the morning, so you can listen to our desolate tones on your way to work. Um, and always remember, sports are for girls too.
Are you looking to grow your business and increase your brand visibility? Become a sponsor with the Girl Talk Sports Talk podcast. Our sponsorship opportunities offer you a unique chance to connect with our dedicated fan base and community. Let us help you elevate your business name and reach new heights. Contact Melina or Mikayla today to learn more about how you can get involved and make a lasting impact. Join us and watch your business thrive.